Hi, this is Becky Dvorak. Do your expectations about how God will heal you, do they need to be changed? Do they need to be tweaked a bit? There is a story of a man. His name was Naaman, and you can find his story in 2 Kings chapter 5, verses 1 through 14. Naaman was a man of authority, and he had an incurable disease called leprosy. Now, this man called for the prophet. He called for the prophet Elisha, and he had an expectation, and his expectation was that Elisha, the prophet, would speak a word, and he would be healed. And that's oftentimes the case. But God knows what we really need, and He knows the source of the issue. He knows the source of the problem in our life. And Naaman needed to be humbled. He needed to have a humble heart. He was a man of authority, and he had servants, and he was accustomed to telling this person to do this and the other to do that. But God was dealing with something on the inside of Naaman, and Naaman needed to be humble. And the man of God, the prophet Elisha, said to Naaman, "Go dip in the river of Jordan 7 times, and you will be healed." Well, when Naaman heard that, it made him angry. He was upset because he had the expectation, he had wrong expectations of how his healing would come about. But like I said, God knew what Naaman needed. And Naaman almost lost his healing because he was too proud to do what the man of God told him he needed to do. Naaman needed to put his faith in action. But he almost lost his healing because he was stubborn, he was prideful, and he didn't want to do what God was telling him to do. And you know what? It's amazing. It took a servant girl, a young girl, someone that didn't have authority to speak to him in this way, someone that took orders from the man. But, she believed in her heart, and she knew what she heard from the prophet Elisha was true. And she went to Naaman, and I'm paraphrasing here, and she said, "Look, Naaman, if he would have said this word to you, you would have been healed. But because he told you to do something, you don't want to do it. Naaman, if you were a wise man, you would obey the voice of the man of God, and you would do what God is telling you to do. How hard is it for you to go dip in the river of Jordan 7 times? And the words of this humble little girl pierced his heart. And he got the revelation that what she spoke was true. And he went to the river Jordan, and he dipped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And we know from the word that 7 in the Bible, the number 7 in the Bible is a number of completion. It's perfection. And on the 7th time, when he came up from the river of Jordan, the 7th time, he came up completely healed and made whole. So perhaps you need to examine your heart and ask yourself, are my expectations wrong? Am I expecting God to move in one way and I am not open to another way that He is speaking to me about? Another thing we need to learn from this, from Naaman, we can learn that it's always right to obey God. And there's blessings in obedience to God. And one of those blessings is healing and miracles. I hope I'm helping you today with this short video teaching clip about healing and miracles. Be blessed today, and know that I love you and I care about you in Jesus' name.